Alrighty, everybody. So today, what we're going to do is I'm going to be racking the Sasquatch Blood Mead into a keg because we're going to be pasteurizing it today. And then once it's cooled down, I will be kegging it and force carbonating it so that it has lovely little bubbles whilst drinking. So very, very excited about that. So very close to finishing this particular mead. It's, cannot wait. Let's take a quick sniff real quick since it's right here. So, oh, berries, all of the berries. The cranberry still comes through really strong. And yet you've also got the tartness and the sweetness of the blackberries and the raspberries. Oh, so, so good. So the smell is incredible. And you may or may not be able to see, let's take a look over here in this camera, that there is a fine, fine cake of lees at the bottom. But you can also see my finger through the glass, which tells you just how clear this is becoming. So first thing we're going to do is take a reading because there's a chance that it was still fermenting just a little bit while it was cold crashing. So I want to get an accurate reading and we can get a final ABV on this guy. All right, a little bit of this, a little taste. Oh, this is going to be lovely. All right. And according to the refractometer, it's at 8.4% Brix, which means it barely moved from its last readings. It went from 8.5 to 8.4. Great. That doesn't even really change a percentage point at all, or even a partial point of ABV. So she's a hefty lady at 15% or so, but she seems to be getting stable. But I'm still going to pasteurize it just in case, because I don't know if I ever told you all this, but the blackberry mead I made last year, that was all blackberries, it decided to start re-fermenting in the bottles. So they kind of started becoming volcanoes when I opened them. And so out of a sense of caution, we've drunk all of them, including the 1 year and the 6-month tastings, just so that they don't become bombs and destroy my house, because that would be bad. So, all right, that is that. So next is the racking into the keg. So we'll be using this 2.5 gallon keg. It's a little big for our purposes, but you know, we're basically filling it halfway anyway between the 1 gallon jug and the 1 quart growler. So it's not going to be a big deal. Oh, before I start, it has been cleaned and sanitized. I put in some diluted star sand in here, let it sit for like a solid half hour because I was doing other things. So she is clean as a whistle. So next, we get the auto siphon and the tubing ready. So I think what I want to do is I want to start with the little one, and hopefully my auto siphon actually fits. Otherwise, I have to do other things. I'm not sure what I would do, but we'll find out. So we'll make it higher than the destination. Donating vessel goes above the final destination. That's the word. Words are hard. And we're making sure that it goes all the way to the bottom to try and prevent as much oxidization as possible. Oh, just barely fits. Let's get her started. There we go. She needed even more height than I could give her before. All right, I think that's all that I can get out of her. It's not much, but it's at least something. So next we set up the big boy, the big lady, whichever you want to call her. We are ambiguous with name calling. Ooh, so I don't know. Let's see. In this, you can see the tiniest cake of leaves, which means we have been very, very efficient with our racking. So excited about that. Unfortunately, not so much with the quart, but with this one, we should be much better. All right. Yes, much better. So I just disturbed the leaves a little bit, unfortunately, so there will still be some particulates. I don't know if y'all ever noticed this, but even when commercial kegs do have sediment in the bottom, so just a little bit is not a big deal. I don't know about you, but I call that highly efficient. Look at all that. That is just the goop. So we didn't lose all that much. We lost some there, but life goes on. All right, so next is the pasteurization process. So we'll take the keg, bring her here, and I'm actually going to be putting her in a cooler that has my immersion circulator on it. So what's going to happen is I put the keg in the cooler, and then I add the water for the immersion circulator to work, and I'm going to set that immersion circulator to 144 degrees. And then once the inside of the keg reaches that 144 degree mark, I'm going to set a timer for 30 minutes. That will kill all the yeast, which is the point of pasteurization, killing microbes and things like that. So 30 minutes at 144 degrees of the internal temperature of the brew, not the temperature of the water that surrounds the keg, but the temperature of what's actually inside the keg. And once that 30 minutes is up, I'm gonna chill it down in my sink with a bunch of ice. And as soon as it is a reasonable temperature, I'd say about anywhere between 70 and 80 degrees, I think, I'm gonna put a cap on her and stick her in my kegerator and for about a day. And then I'm going to force carbonate her at 15 psi for about 4 days. Why 15? Well, according to my research, that'll put us at like 2.4 to 2.6 volumes of carbonation, which gives us kind of a gentle bubble. Not quite as much as champagne, but a little bit more than beer, which is what I'm looking for. But otherwise, let's just get going. Gotta do a little bit of cleanup, but we'll get started. I was worried that she wasn't going to fit with the immersion circulator, but she does. Okay. So it looks like I used under 2 gallons. That's like 6.5 quarts or so. Yeah, 6.5. And so now I plug it in, turn it on to 144, and it'll pasteurize. It'll take some time to pasteurize, but that's how it is. Anyway, once that is done, we'll be back. See you. And we're back. So the Sasquatch Blood Mead has been pasteurizing. My timer just went off. It's been at 144 degrees Fahrenheit for about a half hour. So I'm just going to shut this off. Take my candy thermometer out. Here we go. And now the big lift. Oh, no, not the big lift yet. And now I need to put some ice in my sink so that I can cool this down really fast. Okay. And now the lift. Okay. Ooh, quit beeping. Sorry. The sous vide does not like having the low level of water. But it looks like I should have probably gotten another bag or two of ice because my sink is apparently huge. But now we're just gonna let this chill for however long it takes for it to get to about 80 degrees. And then I'm gonna stick it in my keezer, AKA kegerator, and we'll force carbonate it. That's gonna take a few days, and then we get to finally sample it. So that's all for this time, you guys. Thanks so much, and see y'all next time.